12.0.5 goes live in the next reset, boys, and you know what that means. A lot of new rewards, but more importantly, a lot of new mounts. We got new mounts coming in the patch just like any other major patch or 0.5 patch to say. So let's check this one out real quick. How to get every mount reward coming in 12.0.5 here from Dalaran Gaming.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Patch 12.05, which is releasing soon for midnight, will be this expansion's first big catch-up update, offering players an opportunity to catch up their ults, fortify their main, but also an opportunity to get a bunch of different cosmetics, from various different transmogs, pets, toys, but also plenty new mounts for you to obtain, which most of those will specifically drop from a variety of in-game content that will be available as part of this update. Some of it will be from side content, other will be from main core activities, from open world, but also instance content, giving players a whole new opportunity to add a bunch more rideables to their collection.
Yes.
For today's video, I actually want to take a look at all of the different mounts that will be arriving with 12.05, but also go over what types of content drops all these various different mounts. As we have a bunch of new additions, some of them will drop from open world activities, instance content, a bunch of new additions for the trading post, which will be on a monthly rotation, as well as also some that could potentially make you a ton of gold. With that being said, as always, if you guys want to see more regular updates, guides, or even future previews for any future patches for midnight, like 12.05, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in.
Before the long Dalaran pause, I just want to say I think mounts are always the greatest motivator in the game. I don't know if everybody feels the same, but for me, if Blizzard wants me to do something, put a mount on that shit. Anytime there's a mount attached to any piece of content, I am motivated to try to go do it, especially if the mount's badass. I mean, just look at farming shit. I mean, I still go back and do ICC for freaking Invincible. It's ridiculous. But anytime there's a cool mount on something, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to try to do that.
So with 12.05, we're getting a bunch of open world content with new void invasions, but also a new instance content that's very, very similar to Delves. And together with those content, or those pieces of content rather, we're also getting a new Renown track that's linked to them as well, called Ritual Sites. As you complete open world activities and weeklies, you'll be able to collect more Renown towards this new track, which only has 8 ranks, so it's not going to take that long to obtain. And as you obtain items from there, you can get up to 2 mounts, which some of those you can actually see right behind me, so you can get a pretty good idea what those mounts look like. The mounts will be sold at the animal handler, and they've actually recently changed it. Previously, it was for the unique currency that'll be coming out as part of the 12.05 update.
Yeah, Blizzard really did change this up. There was all these currencies, and they've just gone to Void Light Marl for everything. So I mean, you can already get this shit. So if you want to start pre-farming Void Light Marl, you can do that.
Blizzard looks like it's changing it up. That currency will be huge for players looking to gear out ults, but they wanted to trim up how much of the currency you need for cosmetics, and then replace for mounts in particular with Void Light Marl. So you don't need that new currency by the looks of things in PTR at all whatsoever. So this new set of changes does give you a bunch of mounts for you to collect, but you will need to complete enough of the Renown track to unlock. But one of those will be an Unbound Mana Worm, which is, I think, the first time we got a Void version of this Mana Worm. I believe this was available in Dragonflight as a variation of this mount, but not exactly like it. I don't remember if it was like a subscription-based reward or a trading post, but this is going to be yet another opportunity for you to get a Mana Worm.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Mana Worms. Neither am I a big fan of the Dragon Hawks. It's just, they're all right.
Plus also yet another one of those Hawk Strider mounts, if you haven't gotten them already, though you're just getting a...
Or should I say Hawk Striders. The Dragon Hawks, the new ones, are cool. The Hawk Striders are just so old. I just don't find... They're like a freaking big turkey. Actually, the turkey Hawk Strider is probably the coolest one that we've got in the game for Thanksgiving. That one was cool. He doesn't read. How many times have you gone back to do ICC since Midnight came out? 0. Now, I don't start doing my ICC runs weekly until there's like a lack of content, really.
Voidy version, both of them are going to run up quite a little bit of Marl to obtain. On top of it though, we also do have mounts that you'll be able to obtain from the instance version of the Ritual Sites. There's right now 2 versions of Ritual Sites and a couple of different mounts that you can collect from those specifically. One of those being a Void Corrupted Hex Eagle, which will come from the Broken Throne Ritual Site specifically. Another one that could also come from the Broken Throne, also in Amani style, will be a Wither Bark Bear Warbear Mother.
Nice. These are cool. Amani Bear's Void Corrupted Hex Eagles. Those are nice ones that I'd want to get. The thing about these new instance pieces of content, I think we haven't talked enough about these ritual sites. They actually seem like something that's going to be really cool. We're going to talk about it again later, but these ritual sites, they're almost like a delve like a delve kind of piece of content. 1 to 5 players, you go in its instance and you get it done, and you can rank up on the difficulties of them.
These may be unlockable for
Should be
completing
cool,
some sort of a
repeatable
special
content.
objective inside of ritual sites, or possibly just as a random drop for completing ritual site at the end of a run, maybe linked to a difficulty. I haven't been able to obtain these so far in PTR, but we do know that they are dropping from ritual sites specifically. Another one that's available from another ritual site is the Void Touch Snapdragon, which is from Dagger Spine Point.
Ooh.
The 2 ritual sites, one of them is linked or is available in Zulaman, the other is in Eversong Woods, and I believe they're on a weekly rotation, so this gives you at least 3 more mounts to collect from the instance content specifically. Now, another mount that's also linked from this content also is a Rope Lynx Harness, which allows you to obtain one of the coolest looking Lynx mounts in the game. Normally, the game doesn't really give us too many Lynx mounts. We've had cat mounts, but nothing with this Lynx with the long ears. And in fact, the Lynx is pretty much the Druid feral form, like the original race Druids, or like the Cataclysm version compared to like the OG version, which was a little mangled looking. But
Yeah.
this essentially just gives you almost like a rideable druid looking mount, though in Void, and this one is obtainable through leatherworking. So once you get the recipe and you get the broken Lynx leash, you'll be able to also combine a bunch of materials in order to start selling this mount. So any of you that are into leatherworking or just want to make a ton of gold, now might be a good idea to pivot all the way to
Oh, this is
leatherworking
what he
to
was
try
talking
to
about,
see if you
making
can
gold.
obtain this mount, because the first player to obtain it likely will make a ton of gold from being able to craft this
Yeah.
thing. Unless this thing ends up being like a ridiculously high drop rate, so everybody else could get one super easily. But right now it is assumed it's a fairly low drop rate and a potential opportunity for players to add not only a unique Lynx mount from the auction house or the work order system, but also for those of you that are gold inclined to possibly start crafting this whenever it drops in 1205.
Yeah, that'll be a moneymaker for
Another
sure. If you
mount
get the
reward that
recipe.
drops from some of the fun side content from the Decor Duel, specifically the hide and seek prop hunt minigame they're adding as part of the 12.5 update, is actually going to be a reward. As you complete matches within the Decor Duels, you'll be able to get illusionary coins, and when you have enough of them, you could add the Magister's Spell Bee Comb, which is another bee mount for you to add to your collection. So if you haven't
Okay.
acquired any from War Within, this is going to be a blue variation with a bit of purple, a bit of pink in there too.
It's like an
and this will
arcane
run
bee.
you up 500 illusionary coins, which sounds like that'll be a lot. You know, that 500 is it grindy? It's kind of sort of grindy, but not really. You get a decent bit of points for each match you complete. You get a little more points for doing well, like whether you're finding other players or doing a really good job hiding away from everybody else. So that'll be fun. But essentially, if you run up enough matches, you'll simply will be able to get enough illusionary coins in order to obtain the B. So this will just be one of those where you just gotta play enough games in order to win.
Sure.
Now, another subset of mounts that you'll be able to obtain as part of the 12.5 update, either with the release or over the next few months, will come from the trading post. And there's a number of different mounts, or rather recolors for some of the unique mounts that you will be able to obtain.
All right, let's see.
They're adding a bunch of Gilnean mounts over into the trading
Oh,
post, and
yeah.
these horses in particular look
These are so cool, man. Look at the freaking scratch on the hind there. These things are badass with the giant traps too. I'm definitely going to get some of these Gilnean horses off the trading post. Blizzard's going to get me with these.
fantastic. Not only are they kind of war torn and beaten with
Scarred
scars
and-
as well
yeah,
as on the
badass.
back, they got a bunch of like items like a gun over on the side, holstered. They got a lantern which will swing as the horse moves. They got traps here which also jumble around as the horse moves, as well as a bunch of supplies in the back. So looks like a battle-hardened horse of a Gilnean variety that you'll be able to obtain. And there's 4 versions. We got the Iron Charger, we got the Copper Charger, which changes the fur on the horse a little bit. We got the Rebel horse, which looks a little bit more
Oh, the
pristine, a little bit
black and
nicer with some of
gold.
the color schemes to it. But also we got the Loyalist horse as well. And it even got a nice little idle animation where it just kind of shakes his head a little. So it's actually pretty much a horse mount that we've seen before, but then it's like a horse plus with some of the extra unique things that normal horses normally don't have. So it's definitely going to be one of the cooler pickups if you're trying to go for like a hunter's type of mog or a Gilnean hunter, maybe even like a witch hunter Drustvar style of
Yeah,
setup.
like a
We
witcher.
also got some high mountain, or rather Tauren Sunwalker armor, which is going to have this wooden totemic look about it, but it's essentially designed for Tauren paladins in particular. And they
are
got a
cool.
couple of mounts to go with it that will also be available on trading posts. There's 4 variations, kind of like with horses, but the base one is going to be a flame painted sun rock. So you'll see more or less the colors that go in.
This video is not about transmog, but I've mentioned it before. Oh my god, the Tauren Paladin related transmog that you'll be able to get in this patch. Holy crap! What the shit?
Can always use another death
Who
knight.
just gifted that many subs? What the heck? I never get gifted that. 10 gifted subs? Oh my god, thank you. Whoever the anonymous gifter was.
Another death knight.
Shit, thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, thank you. It was me, was it? Everyone's going to take credit for that. Well, thank you, whoever it was. I really appreciate that.
Another.
We'll have to, we'll mute the alert. Yeah, so that's a great looking mount for sure. Great looking mount. And Tauren Paladin's going to absolutely freaking feast in this patch.
For the holy emanating from like the eyes and the chest, the totem in the back as well. So this is very much like totem inspired, Tauren inspired with the mounts. And there's 4 recolors. We've got the dusk painted one as well, which is a little bit on darker with a bit more blues. And then 2 that don't have a name right now, but there's a green variation with some of the green feathers, as well as a different shade of green / blue that's added in here, but also has a different kind of like effects rolling off of the top. Instead of being holy, it's a little bit more like lighter blue instead. So that could potentially maybe go with like a Death Knight set or a non-paladin set in particular,
cool
if that's
one.
the type you're going
I like
for.
these.
But all of them come with some of those Tauren specific decorations. Now, the last 2 mounts on the list are going to come from probably my least favorite type of content, quote unquote, out there, but these are store mounts. Kind of wish they added them as like a reward for like completing a hard challenge, or maybe even stuck one on a trading post. But so far, it looks like that there's going to be at least 2 that are added through the in-game shop. So not really something you earn, quote unquote, but it's something you can obtain technically. The mounts in particular are boons, which are pretty much a baboon with this.
These are great. I might do a giveaway. I think, is it time? You guys think it's time for a Samiccus giveaway again? You know, the typical, hey, watch the stream, get a chance to win kind of stuff. This looks great, man.
Cherry blossom type of a look behind it. Essentially, it uses the gargoyle skeleton with all the animations, but it's not a gargoyle. It's basically a flying, or boon.
Monkey.
The model itself does look unique. The petals that are flowing off of the wings is kind of cool, not gonna lie. There's 2 versions. There's the amber jack version as well as the blossom back, so you have at least a couple of different variations. I don't know if these are going to be made in the store like immediately as soon as 12.5 update rolls in, or at some point later. But yeah, if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily hate mounts off of the store, those 2 could potentially be yet another pickup for you to add to your collection. Though I really wish they at least made one of them, especially the cherry blossom one, someone you could obtain on the trading post, either in 12.05, or at least a confirmation that these will be available at some point in the future, because then I'll definitely save my currency to pick up both of them, or at least the cherry blossom one in particular. With that being said, as always, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy this update. If you did enjoy this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a like, as I would very much appreciate it. Join our Discord community, link to that in the description of every single videos we put up on the channel. Let me know your thoughts regarding some of these mounts in the comment section down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Yeah, great video overall. Some nice mounts. The baboons, I'm telling you, I might do a Samiccus giveaway for that one. Typically, it's like, yeah, you just watch the stream and you get a chance to win. If you're subbed to the stream, you get even a better shot. But it's a lot of good shit here, a lot of cool mounts. I think there's going to be some interesting ones to get. I think probably the coolest one, if I had to pick what mount I really want out of these, yeah, the Gilnean horses. I think the Gilnean horses take the cake. These things are so nice, man. The black and gold Gilnean horse, oh shit. Gotta have it. Yeah, I'll definitely get those off the trading post. Nice video overall from Dalaran, and some cool looking mounts for sure coming in 12.0.5.